Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa in for Caitlin Nuclo, and you right here watching Eyewitness News on the Wax on this St. Patrick's Day. Of course, a lot of us are in green, the ones who can be in green. But if you're on a green screen, like meteorologists and traffic reporters, well, you got to be a little creative.
Yeah, so right at this moment, you could currently pinch me. But I did bring in and wore a pair of sneakers that has some green in it.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
so,
you know, your radar is green enough. I think you're covered
close
there,
enough.
right?
It's like I'm wearing it almost.
Exactly.
Sort of. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I don't get pinched. All right. We're talking about some rain certainly this morning, and it is locally heavy. Giving you a first alert that this is certainly going to be dropping visibility, creating some ponding on the roadways. Of course, Caitlin will be talking more about the traffic piece and travel conditions. But yeah, it is coming down across the state. We have some pockets of heavier rain zooming in. Where you see those reds, it's pouring in Morris, up through Torrington, up through say Cornwall, Norfolk, and then down towards Clinton, Guilford, Killingworth, all the way up through Middletown. Now that rain coming down pretty steadily and heavily, all the way up through Vernon. So yes, wet to start off our morning hours, and we're expecting this rain to continue. As you can see, a large swath of it coming up from the south. So eventually today, the overall coverage and intensity will start to wane, but right now it's really coming down. Very limited visibility in Old Saybrook, for example. So that rain will certainly drop the visibility out there. Temperatures are in the 50s, so it's a mild rain. And as we show you that hour-by-hour forecast, help you plan out your day. Yeah, expect wet weather, a pretty good amount of it through this morning. Temperatures in the 50s across the state, mid-50s inland. And then as we get into the afternoon, it will be cooling off with the rain showers kind of starting to taper off. So improvements later on today. You're hoping for some sunshine. Well, we're going to luck out with that by tomorrow. More on that forecast later. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 if you're just waking up with us here on the Wax. We do appreciate that. Unfortunately, dealing with this first alert. This is in Andover. Route 316 is closed between Gilead and Burnt Hill Roads. That's because there's some wires across the roadway, so please make sure that you're avoiding that. You don't want to ever go down a road that's been blocked off. We're taking a live look across a good portion of the state here now this morning. This is a look here in Windsor Locks. Anyone north and southbound, you can see roads are still very wet, as they are here in Middletown along Route 9. Traffic volume starting to increase through this stretch, but nice and quiet basically through Vernon, 84 east and westbound, and in Meriden along 691 east and westbound. We have a lot of spray still coming up from vehicles across the state. Depending on where you're traveling, the potential for hydroplaning is present, so just make sure that you're really reducing those speeds, and that we're going to get you to your drive times as you're heading out the door. Pretty slow going down through Fairfield County 95 southbound and the Parkway. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, this morning, the Red Cross is assisting 4 people after their house caught fire in Meriden. Officials right now are working to figure out how it started. Our crews got to the scene on Prospect Street just after 11 o'clock last night, and firefighters found flames coming from the porch, and they needed some extra help here because they had to work around some challenges, including a dry fire hydrant and a down power line that Eversource eventually secured. No one was hurt.
Well, UConn students are truly living the dream right now. They are on spring break, and also both of their basketball teams, the men's and women's squads, are set to begin what we hope are long and magical runs in the NCAA tournament. Turley and his Huskies didn't have a stellar regular season by their lofty standards, but you could be sure that no one wants to face them in March. UConn is the 8th seed in the West region, and the Huskies will take on the Oklahoma Sooners at 9:25 on Friday night. And if the Huskies win, they'll likely face the top-seeded Florida Gators on Sunday. The UConn women also have their March Madness marching orders going forward, and their journey actually starts here at home. The Huskies earned the 2nd seed in the Spokane region, which means a matchup here at Gamble Pavilion on Saturday at 1 with the 15th-seeded Arkansas State Red Wolves. And if they keep on dancing, they tangle with either Oklahoma State or South Dakota State the following Monday. Fans hope that the Huskies can rely on their championship experience to go far.
Alex Cameron, obviously not a senior, but I'm really hoping that his knowledge and experience leading us to the two-peat helps. And Paige obviously has a lot of experience with March. Same with AZ. Now that they're out of injury and healthy and well, I'm really hoping that they'll lead us to our championship.
Well, that young lady certainly knows her hoops, and so does Channel 3. We are going to have crews at Gamble Pavilion as well as in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we will follow the Huskies, both teams, the men's and the women's, as far as they go during March Madness. Reporting on campus and stores, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Roger. And we've been asking you on WFSB.com/vote now, do you think the UConn men can get a three-peat here? 26% of you say yes, while 74% of you, an overwhelming majority, say no. Well, you can scan the QR code on your screen as well right now if you haven't weighed in, or you can always head on the website. But we want to know what you think, so let us know.
All right, we're celebrating a few other teams representing Connecticut in the NCAA tournament. Yale is back in the tournament for the third time in the last 4 seasons. The Bulldogs are a 13 seed and will face 4th-seeded Texas A&M this Thursday.
And the Fairfield women are also heading to the tourney. They are in the same region as UConn and will be a 12 seed. The Stags won the MAAC for the 2nd straight year, and they'll take on 5th seed Kansas State.
Right, this morning, our other top story, we're digging for new information after a Waterbury man accused his stepmother of holding him captive for more than 20 years. Investigators just released new body camera video of the night that police say he started a fire at the Blake Street home last month. Police say he did it to escape, and they've charged his stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan, of locking him away in a room with little food or water for years. Detectives say he weighed just 68 pounds and was in terrible condition. There is a donation link set up for him on our website. More than $85,000 has been raised as of this morning.
This morning, a pedestrian has been seriously hurt after police say they were hit by a car in East Hartford. This happened last night right around Hillside Street and Burnside Avenue. And our crews were able to capture this video when they showed up just before 11. Police tell us that the driver was cooperating, but we are still trying to figure out what exactly led up to this. Also happening in Bloomfield today, lawmakers plan to speak out about what they call drastic cuts coming to federal funding for food assistance programs.
All right, your reporter Marcy Jones is outside of Connecticut Food Share right now, breaking down who this could impact the most.
Good morning. Well, the folks here at Connecticut Food Share say that 2 programs in particular will be greatly impacted. Additionally, they're concerned about the 1 in 8 food insecure residents here in Connecticut, plus all of the local farmers who depend on that funding. The Trump administration has announced cuts that would impact 2 assistance programs here in Connecticut. First, the state is set to lose the local food purchase assistance program, $3.7 million in funding, which will impact 516 food distribution locations that source their goods from 131 farms and producers in Connecticut. Additionally, the local Food for Schools program is in jeopardy, which means Connecticut would stand to lose another $5 million in funding that helps schools and child care facilities purchase foods from nearby farms. In response, Connecticut Food Share is asking Governor Lamont to pass the bipartisan bill that would fully fund the Connecticut Nutrition Assistance Program at $10 million. Senator Blumenthal as well as Senator Murphy will be here in just a few hours at 10:15 to make remarks. Make sure you keep it right here on Channel 3 for all of the latest updates. Your reporter in Bloomfield, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, well, today is St. Patrick's Day, so wear your green and celebrate the lucky day.
Today in West Haven, you can celebrate by going to the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Mayor Dorinda Borer will be presenting the Irishman of the Year award.
Well, that parade is just one of the ways people celebrated the day. Hartford started the holidays Saturday with their St. Patrick's Day Parade. For 53 years, it's been a tradition for many. Thousands of people filling the streets in the capital city.
And the New Haven St. Patty's Day Parade was yesterday. Tens of thousands of people turned out for this annual event. Plenty of fun activities were in store for the families who showed up as well. And didn't know this, but the parade is the 6th longest running parade here in the U.S. It has been held in New Haven since 1842. By the way, the West Haven Parade starts at noon today from City Hall Plaza, that is.
Well, we're going to be tracking, obviously, the heavy rain, but primarily this morning. So the rain intensity should be letting up some this afternoon, so that should be good in West Haven because of that reason. But look at those reds. That is a very heavy rainfall coming down across Litchfield County, starting to move into Hartford, also down into Middlesex and Tolland. I mean, a large chunk of the state dealing with that moderate to heavy rainfall. It's certainly going to drop visibility, create ponding on the roadways. That's a lot. 50s. Lower to middle 50s, and we're expecting today out of Middletown, wet conditions out there. Temperatures in the bulk of the rain to occur this morning, and there you can see a little milder inland versus on the shoreline, but all these numbers above average. And then as we settle into the afternoon, this is what I'm saying, the coverage really starts to break up and we'll just see some clouds, cooler air briefly on the way. And if you're hoping for some sunshine, well, you're going to get lucky tomorrow. We all are. More on that better looking forecast coming up a little bit later. Tracy?